Hey there, welcome to another episode of the RocketMSP Podcast. I am Steve Taylor, I'm your host, and today we are going to look at HoneyCRM. So I'm going to bring on Andrew and Bill. How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Going
good man. How are you
well.
doing?
Awesome. So Andrew is, I know him very professionally as a sales guy, but I don't know what your actual title is.
So I'm a product coach here.
Okay,
Wear different hats, but mostly product coach for sure.
excellent. And Bill is the lead developer?
CTO. Mhm.
CTO. That sounds even more impressive.
It doesn't mean much, but it's okay.
You know. So thanks for popping on here with me, guys. I've been playing with this thing, and I like it. It's pretty. I think honestly, I just want to kind of dive right in, if that's all right.
Let's do it.
So let me bring this on. So this is, which one is this? Safari? Yeah, Safari. So as you can see, right now it's actually working correctly, but every now and then, and to clarify, I'm on the Mac OS Monterey beta, so it could 100% be that I'm running beta software and I just shouldn't be doing that on a production machine. But why would I stop doing that now? So sometimes when I click through these, it just doesn't look right. And then other times it does. So sometimes there's like a white square randomly on this thing. Do any of you guys use Safari with HoneyCRM?
I do. Yeah, I use Safari as one of the browsers just because I'm logged into different browsers for different accounts, and I don't see that problem. I know that it works best on Chrome. Honey does
Mm-hmm.
just the way it runs apps. Maybe Bill can give you more insight as to why that is, but yeah, I use Chrome 90% of the time whenever I'm using
Got it. All right. So let's do this. I'm just gonna. There we go. Now we can put the focus on you guys. I'm not important. So I'm
it.
going to reshare my screen with Chrome. Even though Chrome's like the devil, I'll go ahead. No, I don't care. I'll go ahead and share my screen. That way you guys can see Chrome. So this is what I saw when I logged in. I like that it still kind of takes me to the user guide. I think that's what it did. I ended up here somehow. So I think I will forever be at 83% because I don't have a team to invite. And that's annoying.
So, are you sharing your screen? Because right now all I see is me and
Yeah,
Bill.
we
I don't
can't
know.
see it.
Yeah,
Oops.
there you go. Invite your team. So, yeah, that one is pretty much a step that you would take if you're even, on the free version. You don't really get to that point typically, and it's once you get to another version like the warm up or anything else like that, that's whenever you can start inviting more users, and then that would obviously just go away. So, is there another way
Sure.
to make that 100%?
At this current time, no. There isn't.
Just if I may, I would love for you guys to have a I don't have a team button. That way we can make this checked off
Sure.
or something. That way, because my OCD is very annoyed that I haven't completed my marketing steps.
Sure.
And then if I look at my sales steps, I just assumed that this was going to have a different thing, but they're the same and it's fine. And I see the same issue, so I feel like it's the same info. It's just right here is a little different. Um,
If you scroll down, you see different info too, different guides and stuff.
okay,
Right.
gotcha. Okay, so otherwise, like I like this. You guys have made it real easy for me to look around and figure out what are the things that I need to be doing to get this set up. So I'm going to go here to marketing, and I want us to look and see that I've started playing around with this. So I haven't done anything with like revenue opportunities, anything like that. Um, but what I've done is I sent out like an email blast. It was a huge list that it went to. It was Andrew and
It'll be under if you go campaigns, it'll be under sent.
there we go. So building media kit. So this was me just screwing around. I sent this to Andrew. And can I say I like that this is a curved thing? I don't know why, but I hate the like line. It's like a weird jagged edge thing.
Oh yeah, like the stocks type lines.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I see one person clicked, and if I click on this link here, it's just going to take me to that link.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool if I could like click on this and figure out who clicked.
So there's a way to see that, right? There's always going to be a way to see that type of information. If you go to recipients, then you can go and see who clicked. You can filter out by clicks, or you can sort by clicks, just to see, like, just to bring all of them to the top if you have multiple people on that list that did that.
Yeah, and then hypothetically, if I had multiple links in that email, what would happen? Would it just show me a generic, you clicked 9 times, but I don't know which things you clicked?
Yeah, you would see that at first until you dig deeper, right? Because once you're in the profile of them, then you'd be able to see exactly what they clicked, and timestamps and for opens and clicks and stuff like that. So then you'd be able to hit that drop down, which is to the left of it, that plus sign, where it says Andrew opened. Yeah.
Got it.
Then it would show you those details here. And then this is like interactive to where you could actually click on whatever they clicked on to just to see the same thing that they saw,
Very cool. So the thing that now it doesn't tell me. Oh, here it does. So I see that you opened it at several times, 11:34, and that's when you clicked, and then you opened it again and again and again. And then I know one of those times you like replied to it and it went to me. It didn't track that. I'm on G Suite. I have not even begun to figure out how to do like the journaling or any of that stuff.
Yeah. I do remember you had that hurdle where you don't have G Suite Enterprise. You have G Suite Business, which unfortunately G Suite just does not, it's not free like it is with Office, at any level to do email journaling.
I know, but I'm also curious to see. They just completely revamped everything. So now it's Google Workspace. They've got new plans. They've edited all kinds of stuff. Bill, have you looked into the Google Workplace changes at all?
No, we haven't.
Okay. So I think that would be something cool for us to explore. If we have time today, maybe we could do that. The other things that I wanted to do was, most importantly, figure out if I'm doing things correctly. So I have Kajabi. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that. That is what manages my website. And so it's got, a form and it's got fields, but I have absolutely no idea how to take this code that you've provided and make it work on my form.
I think you have probably the best person right here to be able to help you with that. Because I'm useless when it comes to that part.
And
sure.
And then I'll want to verify that I've got my domain set up correctly. I want to discuss the roadmap, what you guys see coming down the pike. I want to talk about Zapier and why can't I use it right now. And I want to create some marketing journeys and test or verify that they're working correctly. So some of that stuff I know Bill does not need to be around for, so I don't know, you're a very busy and important guy, Bill, so I can.
You seem to think so. Well,
I mean, you're. I'm sure you do something there.
I've
So
had them fooled. But yeah, I do some stuff. Yeah.
fair. All right. So I guess let's take a look first at forms. So I'm going to go to my website, and I don't have many forms, but I have this one here. So if you click on it, it's got a name, email, access the chart thing. In Honey,
The script, yeah, exactly. You go to settings and then you go to integrations.
Go to admin.
Hey, Bill, we changed that. That's new.
Yeah.
That's actually new within the last, must have been a few days. Looks good.
so yeah, here's a script.
Yep.
There's the script.
Okay. And then I'll even log into the back end of this new website I've built. Oh, yeah. I'm not on Safari. Here, let me get that info. Do you see my passwords?
Do we see your passwords?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see all of them. I'm writing them down right now, actually. Taking a
Excellent.
screenshot.
All right. So there's that. I guess I should go to website and pages. So I know it's the home page that has the first form. And I've even got a block here with custom code. And all I did was copy and paste the code. But I'm going to copy it again.
You may, considering how small that that area is, you may want to copy it and paste it into like Notepad first. That way we can edit some information.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, it's a really small window to be doing all your code on.
Yeah, our form integration at the moment has a little bit of web development necessary. Here in the future, we'll be making the form integration much easier. That way, people who are not developers can integrate very easily with their website.
All right, let me share this code screen out to you. All right. So if we look here, I've got stuff.
Nice. So,
I assume this needs to change.
yep. So you'll put whatever page it's going to reside on, the URL for that.
Which I did.
Cool. Then the next thing is for the form, the first one that says selector. So go ahead and open up your I guess it's the home page. Go ahead and just open that up.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to, if you can share that, you would do right-click inspect. In fact, I can probably let me
so,
look.
Yeah, I know if I right click and I inspect this,
Mm-hmm.
that I can get to stuff. I just couldn't even figure out which one was the form.
Sure. Let me go to your website.
I think it's this opt-in one here.
So where is the form on your homepage
It's
exactly?
in
How
the
do I get it?
hero. You just gotta um, select the Get It Now button up on the top.
I see. Okay. So there's the form. And
And if I right click on what I believe is the correct div and copy the selector, I get pound 2 dash step and then greater than div, greater than div, greater than div, greater than div, because I think it's because it's so nested.
yeah, so you don't, that particular form, I guess, doesn't have an actual good selector on it.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
so normally you would do something like with a lot of different like built-in web development platforms, you can usually add your own selector onto the form itself. So you'd want to add like an ID or a class to that form. That way you can actually select it.
That would be nice if this had that.
Yeah, sometimes whenever the whatever platform you're using to build websites, whenever they make it really, really easy for people to use, there tend to be limited functionality around being able to customize it in some fashion. Uh,
Yeah, and the weird thing is I don't consider this really easy to use. Um, this is all based on liquid code, which makes it even more difficult.
so let me see if how many forms you actually have on here. That one. So it looks like you only have one form. Is there only one form on that particular page?
Yes.
Then probably what you can do is for the selector, just put form.
Okay.
Then for each of the fields that exists, essentially what you would do is, let's see. So it looks like you only have,
I
what's
have
that,
two
name,
fields. Yeah, there's
and then email.
yeah, and I see that one has an ID.
Yeah, so you do
Form.
hashtag form submission name, and then you would do for the email, it would be hashtag form submission email.
Now, it looks like Honey wants a first name and a last name.
Yeah, so we have them separated. Something that we want to do in the future is give you more options. So, like, have first name, last name, or just full name. But right now, it is separated. So that would require either slightly more custom coding on your end, or you can update your form to do first name, last name, or you could just put it under first name or put it under last name. And then anytime you get a form submission where you have a new contact, then you can update the contact accordingly.
Honestly, I think that would give me a complex if I had it putting the first and last name into that form on the first name field, Honey.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is, no, I need to edit the form itself.
Hey, Steve, just to double check, is this screen supposed to be showing? Because I lost sight of it again. Bam, there you go.
Now, the other thing to be concerned about is this hooks on to the form after the fact. So depending on how your website does that form, it may not actually exist. So it wouldn't be able to actually hook onto the form. So just FYI, pop-ups are complicated.
Interesting. Can you figure out how to fix that? All right, so refresh. Hit that. Now I've got first and last. So first name is hashtag blah 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 custom 13. And the last name is similar. And then email. And then I don't have phone through comments. So do I delete these lines?
You can just leave them there, or you can delete them. Doesn't really matter. And then the other part is the list ID. So you want to go to your lists inside of Honey. Cool. And then you can either, you could use a new one, call it like form submissions or whatever. And then you see the ID and the URL.
Yeah.
Yeah, just grab that guy and toss it into list ID.
So for those of you wondering what he's talking about, it's this right here. For me, it's 5 digits. And then it also has a client ID.
That's already filled in for you, so you're
I was
set
going
there.
to ask, is it safe to assume that's correct already?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you see the form type in there inside the settings. That's just something really nice for whenever an actual form submission comes through, it'll tag it with whatever you want to call it right there. So whatever you want.
Literally whatever I want.
Cool.
Okay.
So I think you should be good. It's kind of hard to see. Huge monitors, man. What can I say?
I'm compensating. All right, so I'm going to just edit this.
Is there any way that you could attach it to the form? Like, is there like an area in the form?
I will double check, but I don't believe so.
Usually if you're using something like WordPress or Gravity Forms or something, you'll have like a...
Oh, I know. I was a WordPress guy for 15 years, and then I decided to And then I decided recently, like in the last year or so, to switch over to Webflow, and I absolutely love it. It just right now is not like powerful enough to do what my kind of website does.
There we go. So go to the embed probably.
No, that's so you can embed the form.
Oh, I see.
These are only fields that can get filled out. So yeah, there's nothing. Womp womp.
Okay. So at the very least, we can try adding it. At that point, it's really going to depend on how the website is coded as to whether or not it will hook properly. But if you just add it to the bottom, the footer of the page.
Will do. All right.
Cool. I guess now it's I'll test it out.
Yeah, so do I just like refresh this page, hit the button, fill out a form?
Yep.
All right. All right, so Bruce Wayne's going to fill out the form here. Access the chart. Good news, my form works. Now let's go. How quickly would that like be in Honey?
Pretty quickly if it is. There you go.
This is excellent news. So that was not nearly as difficult as I thought it would be. The thing that I was really struggling with was the form selector. I think I could have figured out the name and email selector. I probably would have missed the form ID, but the form selector, I gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked, and I'm pleased. All right. So
You can actually drill into the contact as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see that Bruce Wayne submitted a form.
Nice.
Yeah, and then as far as the scoring goes, I guess this is a good place to bring that up. So I think we talked about it a little bit last time, but with the scoring, you get 1 point at a time for every time that you click on a link. Even if you click on one link 3 times, it'll give you 3 points. And if you submit a form, it'll give you 5 points at a time. And whenever, as far as the temperature goes, we see like that now it's got that icon, the flame / hot icon, which means that they've reached a score of 5 or more. And if they get a score between 1 and 4, then it'll be a warm lead. And if it has a 0, of course, then it'll just be a cold lead, which will have, like a snowflake icon for cold. And then if it goes more than 30 days, or the contact goes more than 30 days without then having any more interactions that are considered lead activities, then it'll go back to cold, regardless of the score.
I like that. All right. So form, I feel good about checking that one off the list. Security things. So let's talk about security of HoneyCRM.
Okay.
So we have a lot of information about our customers and maybe even about our products inside this package here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when are you guys going to get hacked?
When are we going to get hacked?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's doing it.
Don't
Yeah,
put that juju on us.
phrase. So we implement best practices around security. We sandbox each of our users' information, anything that they upload. We're hosted on Azure, obviously, so we have the best in terms of security there. We have backups for our data. Pretty much all the stuff that we can do as far as best practices are concerned.
Very nice.
Mhm.
All right. Now, what about... Oh, we got a bunch of comments.
Except for one thing, which is two-factor authentication, which we'll be working on shortly.
I'm sorry, what are you working on shortly?
Two-factor authentication, 2FA.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
I know many MSPs who won't even consider a product unless it has 2FA. So I hope that's coming soon. Now,
Yeah, it'll be coming this year, actually.
Now, I will say, Kajabi, that website thing, it integrates with Zapier. So if you guys integrated with Zapier, in my opinion, it would be much easier to just create a Zap to accomplish what we just did.
Sure.
Only because I use Zapier a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, is support for Zapier or some other tool like Zapier, is that coming anytime soon?
It will be coming. It is on our roadmap.
So do you have an estimate as to...
It would probably be 2022, just next year.
Okay. That's not the greatest news, but we can work with it. What else you got on your roadmap?
So we have a few things coming up here in the future. The biggest ones are going to be two-factor authentication. We'll also be working towards, we've put a lot of time into our ConnectWise integration, but we'll be doing similar modifications to our auto task to improve that. As well as, I believe Kaseya is on the roadmap as well, as far as integrations are concerned. A lot of our focus right now is sort of like creature comforts and making the app much more user friendly. So giving you the ability to learn how to do best practices as it relates to marketing and sales, and just making the overall experience very good from the get-go. So you saw the user guide that you had originally started off as. That's something new that we implemented very recently as a way of, because a lot of times people that enter into our system coming from the IT channel, they're just not strong in marketing and sales, and they need help. And signing up for a marketing and sales platform is their one attempt, one of many attempts to improve their marketing and sales efforts. So our goal is to be able to educate in marketing and sales best practices, giving you a flow to go by, as well as educating you on how to best leverage Honey.
I like it. Okay. Now you said earlier that you guys have implemented like best practice methods. Did you notice that CISA came out with recommendations for MSPs in the last couple days?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so the recommendations are one day ago. So they've got this here. And basically they're for some MSPs this is like duh. And
Sure.
for other MSPs, this is like a lot of work for them to work on, So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this stuff gets utilized. Manage supply chain risks. Yeah, So I recommend, even though you guys aren't specifically an MSP, that you guys look into this.
Yeah, I think that's great. Right. I mean, obviously, we're vertical for the IT channel, right? So any concern that an MSP will have is a concern that we will have, being a SaaS.
Yeah. And bonus points. I'm sure you guys could take this and turn it into a marketing journey of some type.
It's already being built right now.
I love it.
I'm writing it right now. I already got it on here.
I bet.
Yeah, I'm just taking notes as we're going along.
No, that's all good, man. All right, so I never know what should be leads and what shouldn't. Does that make sense? Like, I understand the concept of what a lead and a prospect and whatever is, but like, okay, so let's say people that have given you money in the past, and I want them to give me money again in the future. Are they leads or are they just customers?
I guess that comes down to your own definition of what a lead is, right? But that's why it gives you the option to put them under a list that lets you define it as a lead or not. Because like if you're, for example, if you're referring to like a break fix client that is not a recurrent revenue client and your main model now is an MSP model, then yeah, I would consider that a lead. I would definitely put that in the leads bucket because you see that as a potential lead for a recurrent revenue contract, right?
Okay. So everything's
Now,
good.
I think like something like, well, for example, current clients, like MSP clients, I wouldn't consider that a lead,
No.
right? You don't want that mixing in with your leads that you're trying to get, contracts with. So I would definitely leave like that off for like a list like that.
Okay, so that's interesting. So Bruce Wayne and Andrew, you both are leads.
Mm-hmm. And we fit two criteria. We're in the lead list and we have a score that's been generated by Honey in this case by just automatically tracking what's happening in the emails. You can also manually update the score if you wanted to, so that you could, like, say you meet someone at an event and they didn't come in through email and you want to consider them a lead, then you would just put them in a list that you consider to be a leads list, and then you could manually update their score. Say you meet 100 people at an event that you did, then you could put them all in an Excel sheet and give them all a score on that sheet and then upload them into the list and update all their scores at one time, as well as tag them under that list, of course.
Gotcha. So Yates, do you guys do ticketing? No, this is 100% a CRM and marketing, sales and marketing platform. So it's not going to help you manage your service requests. You'll still want to have a PSA for that. In fact, this will integrate with ConnectWise and Autotask. So if you look, they have a trial and then they also have a free version. So you could simply sign up for the free version and play as much as you want. If you do a trial, you'll be able to get in, except you won't get access to the intellectual property. So if you look at mine and we look at marketing plan templates here, I thought maybe it's journey templates. Yeah. So, they've got all these different templates where it'll, blast people with 7 emails or whatever. And it's all based on this one topic. And it might have pictures, videos, white papers, all kinds of stuff. they're not going to give you that in the trial because I think they're smart enough to realize people are just going to sign up, download all the things, and then not actually pay.
Well, yeah. So to clarify on that, you pretty much said it, but there's going to be I shouldn't say there's zero intellectual property. There's going to be some things like an example of a white paper that you could use to use a collateral builder and see what that works, how that works, how you can edit pieces of collateral. There's free emails that come with even the free version. So there will be the emails will still be there for you to be able to use. And then as far as journeys go, you'll probably have one of those journeys in there. You'll have one of those journeys in there, I'm almost certain, to where you can just use that as a template so you could see what an already built out journey might look like. You know what I mean? And if I might have messed up and not put the marketing plans into your account whenever I did your account, because it should be there for your purposes. You know what I mean? What we're doing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I ended up creating a journey.
Give me your money.
I do they see that or just me? The give me your money part.
That's just you. They're going to see what's within the emails that you're sending out from that journey. And this is from scratch, but just, I guess, like for example's sake, and even for your sake, and just not having to redo steps, you could start from a template right now. So do you want to go ahead and do that instead? And
I could, but you didn't have any templates that really met what I was doing.
So you had said that you wanted to do some MSP type templates and then some other ones for vendors. Yeah, for vendors, of course, yeah, that's going to be different. But for the MSP type stuff, there's definitely templates that fit that.
That's true. Yeah, let's go to included with subscription. Cybersecurity, nobody really wants to talk about that right now.
No, it's not really a big concern. Just kidding. That's going to give you a preview of it. But if you wanted to actually build it, just click that plus sign, and then it'll allow you to then start building the journey from that template.
All right.
So right here, everything will be done. This is a really big journey. So there's a lot of different steps. There's all the emails already written out. There's just some blanks to fill, like what is going to be the sender's email address, who's going to go out from, and then some other things. Like whenever you get to the tasks, automating that, and the assigning of leads, you just gotta put in things like who's this lead going to be assigned to, who is this task going to be assigned to, and things like that. But everything, I would say about 80% of it is already there because it already even fills the descriptions in, it puts the delays in for you. If you go and click on that, you'll see the email that's there, and you just gotta plug in. That's another thing. You got to plug in, of course, the piece of content that you're going to choose to use. But it'll tell you up top in the title, it'll tell you this is supposed to be like a white paper or an ebook, or this is the type of piece of content you're supposed to use here at this point. And if you're using journeys, then that means that most likely you already have all that content that Honey's has in their library, so you can utilize it, or you have your own, of course, so you can plug in there as well. But yeah, like the first email, for example, is meant to be like a graphical marketing email. So if you click on that edit button, you'll see that, and then if you click that again, it'll go to the editor and it'll apply all your branding like we showed you last time, right? So then you would just plug in from right here. For example, if you clicked on the learn more button where it's saying it's missing a link, or that one too, you can choose.
Didn't tell me it's missing a link because that one's going to http://v.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
well, I think basically the template has some BS here in the button link.
Yeah.
And because there's BS in there, it might lead MSPs to think that that's already fixed and they didn't need to touch it.
Yeah, that's a little detail to touch up on our end for sure. I appreciate you pointing that out. But the only things left to do here would really be just to plug in your go there, and then where it says choose from marketing collaterals, right below that, you can choose if you already have, if you uploaded things in your library, you can choose things like the white papers and ebooks or landing pages and stuff. Like on the pro plan, we even build you some landing pages and we give you videos, MP4s either way. But with the Pro plan, we also take those videos and just make them unique for you and give them the unique link for you that's tied to your brand and has a landing page that's tied to with your branding and everything. So that's where you would just edit that part, and
Am I
it's really all
losing
that's
my
left to do here.
mind, or is this
Why?
thing like shaking?
I kind of see that where it's like the right is moving a little bit.
I feel like it's moving multiple directions.
Yeah, it looks
Yes,
like
I saw
the
that.
scroll
I
bar
saw
is
that.
getting actuated for whatever reason.
Oh, it is. That's what it is. It's a scroll bar.
Yeah.
What
It's
scroll
weird.
bar? I'm just moving my mouse right now.
Yeah, I think whenever you're going to the right into the white space, it's activating that scroll bar, and then it's like throwing it
Oh
off.
my gosh, just clicking on button link.
That's funny.
All right, so I put some links in here. I feel good about this email. That's a good email.
Then you would just click, yep, save, and then go back. And then one step that we missed there was just putting in like your, just put in your email real quick and your name. You can fill anything in right there. For example's sake, right now, if you want. Did you already do your domain authentication for Taylor IT Group too?
That is a great question.
We can check that later. It'll tell you right now, actually, if you did it or not. It should tell you.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and it'll show the preview once everything's been filled in. And it'll do that for the rest of the emails too. So in this case, this email was, it looks like if it was opened, then there's a different series of things that are going to happen. And as you'll notice on the very left, if things are going your way and they're going really well, then you're going to get to the point where you get call tasks assigned to you, and also get the lead gets assigned to you pretty quickly. Like after the second email, if things are going your way, people are opening and already taking calls to action on both of them, then in this case, you're going to get some tasks assigned to you to follow up with a lead that's pretty warm or even getting hot at this point. On the very left, on the more extreme side, what's going to happen is that you can completely shift gears. So like say you send out 3 emails, and yeah, if you would like go to the right and then just start scrolling down a little bit, if you would send out 3 emails and say they didn't even open any of those emails, on to the very right, even a little bit more than that, you'll see that there's a place where after there's in this case not three emails that haven't been opened or interacted with in any way, then these people that fall in that bucket would then get moved to a list that is tied to a different journey that could shift gears, which is just about it could be about like cloud services rather than cybersecurity in this case. So it just allows you to automate that part as well if things are not going the way that you'd hope they go for this this portion of the prospects. You know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah, and then more in the middle, it's like if they don't interact, but then they start interacting at a certain point, or if they stop interacting on the other side where they first interacted, then there's some automation built around that to where it tries to get them back in the loop with like something that it's like meant to be something that it's like a bigger thing is sent out like an ebook or something, right? To where that'll be more enticing for them probably than maybe like looking at a blog or something like that. Just trying different marketing strategies. But the thing you'll see here, the common thing you'll see here is that you're always building some type of value with some type of piece of content that's like educational and just hopefully helping them in some way understand how they could like utilize these things for their business, right? So you'll notice that theme throughout the whole thing because you'll have some type of attachment, or I shouldn't say attachment because that's different, just for term's sake, but some type of link or a call to action that you want them to take.
All right. So that's not so painful. This has a very Infusionsoft kind of feel.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, just because
I heard they do have some really great automation though.
It's only because the look of the journey.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, stuff, more stuff. Cool, yeah. And then like as you're saving, you may be noticing like the previews of that email are gonna fill in and everything, which is gonna look cleaner. It's gonna let you know that that step's been fully completed.
So yeah, that seems completely doable. But let me pick on you guys for a minute. The one thing that's missing is the ability for me to like zoom in and out. Because I would have zoomed way out because I just want to see like that bird's eye. Here's what the whole journey looks like, and then maybe have like a little preview in the top left corner showing me the area that I'm zoomed into.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point for sure. I guess we should not rely on Google's zoom in and out or any browsers to do that, right? That's typically what you do, but
I can't zoom out though.
Oh, right, all right.
Now I'm sure I could command minus and zoom out.
Right, that's exactly what I was getting at. But you're saying within the software natively for sure. That's a fair point.
Yeah, because I remember trying to look at this on my iPad, and I was like, I couldn't work on this if I had a gun pointed to my head. Like, it was no bueno.
Yeah, this is a pretty complex journey too. It gets it's pretty long.
I mean, it's awesome. It really is. And the fact that it splits off so many times, like that's really cool. And I could see incredible value for an MSP, even as is, man. Like, you've already got, all this stuff in here. So like if I went back and looked at the marketing collateral, you've got so much stuff in here. Here's a cybersecurity something.
Yeah, it's a video. So these are the MP4s I was talking. So like with the Pro plan, we'll give you, we'll like take these MP4s and make them, unique to you, and just like make it look like it's coming directly from your company, right? But in this case, we still provide the MP4s because these are great for if you just want to make your own introduction or something, or put your own outro in it. If you want to watermark it, and have it look just customized to what you would want that video to look like, just for your brand, right? So that's there as far as like those videos, but as far as the collateral, and I'm almost 100% we went over this last time, but just to make sure, there's more collateral under the collateral builder. If you go there and then you go to included with subscription, then it'll show you, wait, hold on, go to my builds, because I thought we did this last time, and if we didn't, then I'm going crazy.
No, it sometimes doesn't work, but I remember we made one for sure.
Will you just refresh that page? Do me a favor and refresh that page. That's a new one.
It's not you, it's me?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a buzzkill. I wanted to show you all that. So let's go to my builds so I can show you that example.
Yeah.
And then what you're about to do. So if you go to options and then edit, and then save and view collateral.
Yeah, I remember looking at this with you last time.
Right.
Honestly,
yeah.
This is so cool in what it's able to do. It's almost overwhelming.
I think for someone that's never done marketing or designing of any type of thing, for sure, and it can be like daunting at first, but The good thing is that this is super user friendly whenever it comes to like just editing anything. It's all just dragging anything where you need it. Just if you want to put like any more images or any more text in, you literally just upload it and then just drag it where you want it to be at. And then once you're done with it, you just render it and it'll become a PDF. You know?
So if I didn't want to edit anything, this could
Mhm.
get sent out like right now.
Oh yeah, it's ready to go as is. When once you apply all your branding and all the branding automation, so you put in your logo, your colors, and your contact information, then it'll apply that, and yeah, like right there, it'll apply that, and then you can just render it straight into your library. I think last time you were rendering this, and this one takes since it's an ebook, it'll probably take anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds to render and actually go into your library. So if you want to do that, and then let's just open up a new tab so that you don't have to sit there for 45 seconds or a minute.
Oh, I don't mind sitting here for 45 seconds. I actually want to have a conversation with you guys about this collateral specifically. Do you remember when you added this to your library?
When we added that to our library, if I had to, the answer is no, I don't remember exactly. But if I had to guess, I would say it was right around December, January, uh, you know, December last year, January this year, when we added this stuff, because that's when we rolled out the new plan for the Pro, which
Got it.
is what we now have as Honey Pro. Yeah.
Got it. So this little ebook you guys have made here, this is pretty relevant information. I mean, okay, so it's like 7 months old. So I guess you could argue that it's completely outdated, but it
Oh, well,
is.
with that being said, and sorry to interrupt, but with that being said, we are constantly updating these with more updated copy. And most importantly, like one of the really important things is the statistics and stuff that we put in here. We want them to be up to date statistics, like you might see something that says 2020 if it's still relevant, but if we feel like it's not, then we're going to go in there and we're going to make sure that it's relevant to today for sure.
Got it.
Yeah, and not only are we editing this content, but we're also adding newer content every month.
Hmm. All right. So, huh. Is it? Did it finish?
No,
Oh,
you'll see the
I'm in
buttons will
Safari.
be blue again, and I don't really think that should affect it because I've done this in Safari too more than once. Let's let it render, and then let's just open another tab in Honey so that we can do our thing there, and then you can go back to that in a second.
And just to clarify, when I said, "Oh, this is Safari," it's because I opened up my Safari window and I was like, "Oh, wait, I'm not even looking at the right thing," because I was confused. I was at the marketing dashboard. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. It kicks you completely out of it after it's done rendering." Like, no, that's not what it does.
Well, there you go. So now it's been completely rendered, and
Yeah.
you can go back to now it'll be in your library because as you put post to collaterals. So now if you go to your exactly, then you'll see it there. And it looks like we did that. Did we do it twice today? I see two of
I
them.
hit a button earlier when I had this here. I hit Option Post to Collaterals.
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah, yeah, for sure. They just rendered it just like that, and that's a good point. You can just take it straight from the included with subscription and add it to your library. You don't even have to go into the editor to do that. It's just if I always like looking it over just to make sure that like if I see anything that maybe I want to just like add in or change like a piece of copy or whatever the case is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool, man. So then when I go back into my journey, my templates,
It would
go.
be under inactive right now because you started it, but it's not an active journey yet, and then it would be that first one.
Yeah,
Uh,
I gotta say, like, my templates, I don't. I guess I just kind of expected it to be in there. I don't know why. Um, it's a little It's a little confusing sometimes for me. All right, so here's the journey. I'm looking at the wrong
And
one.
then you go to oh yeah, wait, were you? Yeah, that one. And then you go to designer. So you can go back and edit it. And then if you're wanting to use that piece of content you just made, you could just plug it in.
How do I plug it in?
Well, you got to go to the email itself. So let's go to that first, because I don't think you actually added a link to that first one, did you?
I did.
Oh, there you go. You do
I've been
that one.
screwing around with everything. So if I want to add a link to a piece of collateral, what is the
So
right?
there's a couple options you can have here. I really like to just hyperlink text. That's the best way, in my opinion. But what you can do, so you can go to your marketing collaterals, which is right under where it says best regards. You'll actually see there's a couple buttons.
I
And
would have
then
never thought to click on that.
was it hiding on you a little bit?
Well,
And then where it
it didn't
says,
have a label.
where it says select, yeah, that's a good point. I think that would help for sure. So you could select it and put it in there directly, or what is I think a better option is to just unselect it and then preview it, and then that way, and then just view PDF, and then copy the link to the PDF, because that way that you can just take that and hyperlink it. And this is just because this is the type of email that it is. It's a plain text email, and it's just better to take some text you have there and hyperlink it rather than, in this case, have a really long messy link.
For giggles, I'm going to see what happens if I do that.
So as an attachment, it's going to send out the attachment, but and this is just something that's an option. Obviously, we give you the option, but if you wanted to be able to track the click, then you have to have it in the body somewhere, and that's just for email marketing in general. You cannot track the attachment, clicks for the attachment.
Cool. So I tried 3 different ways. I tried setting it up as an attachment, and I don't know that it worked because there's nothing indicating to me that it worked.
So
Yeah, we'll look into that. That's weird.
And
that's weird because I've seen it before.
And then because this is a text-only email and this is a PDF, inline just made it, text, and then added as a link, made it just a text link. Or I was able to do that preview. Although like if it were me, I might edit the link, and I might just let it add its own link, and then I'll change this to read my awesome book. I wrote it from the ground up. And then we hit update, and now people can click on that.
That's right.
Beautiful. All right, so that's really cool. So what I want to do now is I want to play with creating a real simple journey. So if I look at my journeys here, and I go into the one that's called Give Me Your Money, let's start, I guess, by sending an email. And in this email, I'll do a non-graphical email.
And then go to include it with subscription, and then you'll have a load of options there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so important to note that there's some fill in the blanks here on this one, right?
So these
There's
aren't
usually
going to
not this
automatically
many.
populate.
That's not going to automatically populate. No. There's usually not this many fill in the blanks, but with the intros, there's a lot of information you're giving them up front.
All right. So, and then I'll have this go to RocketMSP, and then I won't bother doing this one. And then I'll get rid of this, and I think this one said signatures. We'll add that, and I'll just pretend everything else in this email is perfect. So, step 1 is introduction.
Yep, and then you put in the email and then the from name too, so that it'll
That's right.
complete this step. Yeah. There you go. And now here's a very important part that I see most commonly people miss. You got to put a delay after an email so that you can determine, typically it's 24 hours. After about 24 hours, your chances of somebody actually opening your email go really, really low anyways. So you typically do about 24 hours or a day, and then that'll mean that it'll gather the data for 24 hours, and then it'll go down to the condition, and you set the rules around that. So then you can do multiple rules and have it be to where all of these things have to happen for the next step or for the criteria to be met, or just any of these things have to happen for the criteria to be met.
Well, that's nice. It was nice enough to remind me that they recommend I place a delay because rules are checked immediately.
Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. So this would be, these things have to happen. Both of these things have to happen. And then if you do any rules, it'll say or.
Now, if I just hit save, it just does a yes or a no.
Right. It does a yes or a no. So then was this criteria met? Was this criteria not met in this case? And then on this side, typically it's a good practice to send after 24 hours. You can send out a follow-up email. So you don't even necessarily need to have a delay right here because it'll just go straight to that step afterwards. So then, yeah, you could just choose from a template again or write from scratch.
Ooh, Halloween. Happy holidays.
Yeah. 4th of July email in there. Like a lot of people use that one very recently.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I mean, I'll use this one. Whatever. They're all the same. I mean, look and feel. I would literally have to change everything about this. So I'll pretend I did this. And then I'll go back.
And then for it to fill in, yeah, you just need to fill in all those things. Excuse me. How you doing?
Yeah. All right. Done.
Okay. And then you would just that's about as simple as it gets right at that point. Did you want to add more on the side if they did not open it?
I do. I'm gonna update the contact, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the contact status to not a fit, and I've just decided if they don't read my introduction, they can screw themselves.
I want to rethink that one.
Well, that's like your opinion, man. All right, so I'm not going to enable this because I'm just doing this for fun. Although I
Yeah.
could enable this.
Did you tie it to our test list that we set up last time?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Give me your money is tied to the test list.
Yep.
All right, so
So
if I
yeah,
go
you can
into
enable
the
it.
designer here and I hit enable, is it
Hmm.
going to automatically fire on anybody that's in that test list, or is it only going to do it to people that get added after the fact?
You have the option. So if people are already in that list, and you don't want them to get the email, like right there, yeah. If they're already in the list, but you only want new subscribers to get that email, then only new subscribers will get one. But if you would like everyone to get it, like including everyone that's already part of that, you would just check that option off.
So this is weird only because it's a yes or no question that seems like a radio button type thing, but it's a checkbox.
You feel like it should be a yes or no type thing?
Yeah, I feel like it should look like this one and just have a
Got it.
yes and a no. Just because I don't know, I get confused when I see checkboxes on a yes or no question.
Mm.
I'm like, well, wait, which one's checked? I don't know. All right, so I did it. I sent the thing.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, it'll start sending. And then I guess so that we could see what happens on both sides, because I think there's only two contacts, right? You
Hmm.
can, if you want, you can open the email, click through it, and all that stuff, and then I'll just ignore your email so that I can get put on as not a fit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't see the email yet, but I also just assume that when I'm using like a marketing platform, it just takes a few minutes kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it's safe to assume.
so we can come back to that next week, especially since we won't really see all of the uh, feedback, or not next week. I guess I should say in a few weeks, huh? We won't really be able to see much until it goes through that 24-hour delay.
Hmm. That's right. Yeah. Um, at least a follow up on your end. If you open it.
Right. Okay. So let's see here. We talked about the roadmap. We looked at the journeys. We're going to see that that works. We got the form working. Domain name. It's not yelling at me, so I guess I just assume my domain name is set up correctly.
So go to, yep, exactly. And then um, this is obviously where you would set up your other one if you wanted it. The Steve. Oh, I just got your email, by the way, from the journey.
Oh, nice.
Um, for the Taylor IT group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
you
I'm
put that.
not. I'm not worried about that one for right now. I'll operate out of Rocket MSP for now.
Did we talk about link branding last time?
About what?
Link branding.
Link branding. Yes, yes, we did. How I can basically use this as a way to create my own. I'll call it short links. I give it a custom domain or a subdomain off of my current site, and then from there, um, whenever I want, I can paste a link in, and it'll make a custom link for me, and I can put that wherever I want, and then that gets tracked.
Yeah. So as far as that being a custom like domain that they own, Bill, how is that possible? Like they can do like whatever domain they own to brand the link, or is it just that? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, whatever domain they own, you're welcome
Okay.
to do it, as well as subdomain. Really, the link branding, the power to it is twofold. Number one, in order for any marketing platform to be able to track clicks, we have to use a reroute on all the links that exist within the email. Now we have our own domain that we use. However, It's not best practice for you to use the same domain across any Joe Schmo who happens to use the marketing platform, right? So typically, you'll want to create your own link branding to brand it to your domains. That way, you get an uptick to your email reputation, right?
Gotcha.
And typically, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, got it.
Yeah. The other thing has to do with it's called domain alignment. Essentially, whenever you are doing marketing email best practices, the best thing is that pretty much every link, everything that exists within your email should be aligned to the same domain, and that will also give you better email reputation as well as just better open and click-through rates.
I did not know that.
This really helps with Google too. Like Google is super strict, as you know, with their spam filters. So this really helps with that, just that extra layer of authentication.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I think we accomplished all of the hard things. I feel like there was one other thing.
Checked off every box.
Wasn't there one other thing I wanted to ask Bill about? I think we
Great
started
form.
with this.
You had said a roadmap. Did we talk? Well, we kind of talked about that. We didn't talk about everything. We'd like to, but yeah, we checked off all the boxes for sure. That
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I thank you. And then I want to say in approximately 3 weeks, we are going to do this again. And by that point, I'll have mastered HoneyCRM.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
almost certain of it.
And just to make sure on my end, you said in 3 weeks. Okay. I thought I wrote that down wrong. I thought we had another one next week.
I'm doing a completely rough estimate. I don't exactly remember when.
We'll figure it out.
If I had to guess, I'd say maybe on the 11th.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. I am too.
All right, Steve. Well, you know where to reach us if you need anything. In the meanwhile, as far as like coaching or anything, Bill said he got bumped.
He came back.
Oh, there he is. But yeah, as far as like training for any of the tools, like just best practices for the tools, I'm here. I'm your guy, of course. Whenever it comes to anything technical, you already know our support team is here on the chat box on the right, on the bottom right. They're really responsive. They'll respond within like 5 to 10 minutes within business hours, right? So just hit them up if you have any type of technical things you run into or you need help with, all right?
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bill, I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And then, cool. I'll see you guys in about a month. Well,
Sounds good, man.
I'll see Andrew in about a month. Bill, you might end up getting some random marketing emails, just so you're aware.
All right. Sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Take care,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
You too, bye.
Bye.